Hey, I'm back and I have a new background. So, let's talk about what's new in Japan for June 2016. So the first thing I want to talk about is a new restaurant that's going to be opening in Tokyo. It's not actually open yet, but it's going to be opening on the 29th of July. So what makes this restaurant different is that it's a naked restaurant. If you haven't heard, this has become popular in Australia and also England, I believe. They've opened these restaurants there and they were a hit, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, they decided to open them here in Tokyo. Basically, what you have is you have people that go there and they take away your cell phone and cameras. Then they bring you to a room, you change, you get naked, and you sit down and eat dinner. Because of Japanese laws, I don't think they actually let you get completely naked, so they have some kind of paper underwear. But I don't know. I don't know what the point of that is. And so during this, they have male models from America and Europe that are going to serve you, and then they do some kind of show, I guess. But I don't know what type of show it is. After that, you have dinner and then you leave. One of the strange things about this, besides everyone being naked, is the fact that they have an age limit and they have a weight limit. So the age limit I understand to a point. So nobody under 18 can go in there, which is kind of obvious. You don't want naked children in there. It's gross. Even grosser than it already is. And then they have an upper age limit of 60 years old. So I don't really understand the point of that, but I guess they just think like nobody wants to see old people naked. I don't know. I guess that's their reasoning. So they have an upper age limit. And they also have a weight limit. So they go by your BMI. So if you're more than 15 kilograms over or I think even under the BMI, you also can't go. And so I guess this is supposed to be a very exclusive restaurant. Not only do they have all these requirements for age and weight, but also it's pretty expensive. I think the cheapest ticket you can buy is 12,000 yen, which is about $100, and the most expensive is 80,000 yen. 80,000 yen? I hope the food is good, but to be honest, when I go to a restaurant and I see hair in my food, that's disgusting already, but at least I know the hair came from my head. In this restaurant, who knows? And also, I guess this is for everybody, but they have this kind of like men's show, so I don't know what men are going to be doing naked that's going to be interesting for other men who are straight, but I guess they're doing it, so if you're in Tokyo and you're interested, sign up now. I'll leave a link to the article below so you can check it out for yourself. It seems that one man couldn't wait to go to this, so earlier this month in Akihabara, he decided to go to the train station and I guess perhaps go to this restaurant. I really don't know where he's going, but anyways, he was seen going to the train station in Akihabara with a backpack. And only a backpack. He actually walked into the station naked, and he was there trying to buy a ticket with no clothes on except for a backpack. This is really strange to me because he actually got to the station wearing nothing but a backpack. But if you've ever been to Akihabara, you know that there's not really a bunch of houses or apartments around there. It's mostly just like shops and things, even around the station. So I'm wondering, like, how did he get from his apartment to, or his house there? Did he take a train, or did he live maybe someplace farther away from the station? And nobody stopped this person before he got to the station, even though he must have been walking blocks naked? I don't know, but crazy story. But when he got there, luckily they had towels at the station, so they covered him up and the police took him away. I don't know what kind of charges he's going to get for doing this, but I just thought it was crazy. On another note, they did a survey recently, and even though it was a small survey, they decided to ask men, are you afraid of your female colleagues at your workplace? And 34% said, yes, I am afraid of them. So oftentimes they talk about this like monster bosses or monster parents or things like this. But it seems there's monster female colleagues, or at least for 34% of men there are. And they ask these men, like, why are you afraid of them? Like, what is your issue? And so one of the issues was just communication. So a lot of men said that communicating with them was, I shouldn't say, even not communicating with them, but just the way they talk and their gossip made them nervous. They said, they talk behind people's backs and they don't even care about the bad things they're saying about them. So that made some men afraid. Other men talked about workplace communication, and this one was kind of strange to me. One man said, I feel like I can't allocate work to them properly, which I didn't really understand his reasoning behind that, but whatever. And another man said, my boss, she's female and she's really bossy and mean. There's lots of male bosses that are bossy and mean. I don't really understand that. So that one seemed kind of a strange issue that these men had, or some of these men had. But the next one, they actually said conspiracies. They said lots of women will complain or talk about conspiracies other women have against them. And they said also women will conspire together to come up with some plot to take down the boss, like accusing him of sexual harassment or doing some other thing to make someone look bad. Which is a little bit scary. I guess I can understand where they're coming from with that criticism, if that's actually happening. The last thing they complained about was rivalries. They said it seems like there's different factions in the office between women and they'll battle back and forth. And lots of men said they didn't understand this and said, oh, it's crazy. So they didn't like that. And so I can understand that, so maybe that happens sometimes. But before people get angry, remember, this is only 34% of the men surveyed, and there was, I believe, under 100 people surveyed, so it's not like it's happening everywhere or it's this big problem. It's actually the minority of men that complain, but it must be at least somewhat of a problem if these men are complaining. I thought it was interesting, so tell me what you think below. The next one is kind of a fun one. If you don't know, in Japan there's something called mochi. I know I've done a video on WUIJJune mochi, but to be honest, WUIJJune mochi is not actually mochi. Actual mochi is made from rice. You take this sticky rice and you pound it and fold it. And when it comes out, sometimes I've heard it called a rice cake, but it looks just like a piece of dough, basically. And people eat this. Sometimes they put things inside it, like fruits or some kind of sweet jelly and things like that. It's very good. If you've never tried it, you should. Recently, a YouTube channel decided to do a story on this, and it's about the fastest mochi maker in Japan. One of the things about making mochi is the traditional way is you have one person take the mochi and flip it, and another person hits it with a hammer. And so if you've ever seen this, it looks really dangerous because they do it really fast. And as you can see in the video, here he's doing it amazingly fast. But this is actually a special type of mochi, so I think they add some type of grass into it actually, so it has a special taste. But the video is really short, it's about 2 minutes. Check it out, and if you ever get a chance, try mochi yourself, it's really good. Although, to be honest, it does kill lots of old people every year because it's so sticky it gets caught in their throat, but if you're young, don't worry, it's a good food. Last but not least is a really crazy one. It's about a man who decided to go to a snack pub. If you don't know, in Japan they call some places snacks. I know it sounds like, oh, you go there and you have like candy or potato chips or something, but it's actually not that. It's basically a bar. When you go in there, they have women there and they sit with you and they talk with you while you drink alcohol together. And you usually have to pay for the woman's alcohol, and they have other things there like karaoke, etc. One man decided, I really want to do this. He really wanted to go in there. So he goes into this snack/hostess bar, and once he goes in, he goes wild. He starts ordering drinks, he has women around him, he's having fun, He basically thinks he's Puff Daddy in 1997, but he continues, and not only is he buying drinks for himself and for the women, he's buying it for other staff. He's like, you get a free drink, you get a free drink, you get a free drink. He's paying for everybody's drinks, and everybody's happy. And then, at the end of the night, it's past midnight, and he's like, thanks everyone, time to go. Manager comes up to him, he's like, thank you for coming here. Here's the bill. He looks at it, and I think it's like 137,000 yen, which is like $1,000. For those that don't know, these types of places, like hostess bars or snack bars, usually the prices are really, really high. Higher than almost any place else. But you'd think somebody would know this. Even so, with these high prices, it shouldn't have been $1,000, but I imagine it's just because this person was, buying drinks for everybody and going crazy drinking champagne. And so then the man goes into his pocket to get the money, and he tells the manager, I only have 43 yen. The manager obviously looks at him and goes, Nandato? I'm surprised the manager didn't, beat him up and throw him into a dumpster behind the snack bar. But actually the manager decided to call the police. And the police got there, and he said, at first I told the manager, I was staying in a hotel and I'd go get it, but I really just wanted to run away. I actually don't have any money. All I have is the 43 yen. And he got arrested for this. To be honest, I don't know why you'd go into such an expensive place with only 43 yen. And you'd think okay, maybe I'll order one drink or two drinks and stay in there for 20 minutes and then make up an excuse I forgot my wallet. Sorry, I'll come back. And the manager probably would have let him go if the bill was 2,000 yen. He could have just gotten out of there and the manager would have, taken the loss. But the fact that he's buying drinks for staff members and other patrons and everything, I don't know. This guy just said I just want to have fun, I got caught up in the moment. I'm actually surprised. Usually in Japan, they let people get away with doing crazy things and they say I was drunk, I didn't know what I was doing. But he actually didn't say that, so I'm surprised he didn't do that this time. So I don't know what his punishment's going to be. I imagine he'll have to pay this back, but I don't know if he'll be able to. The fact that he only had 43 yen is, I don't know, is he homeless or maybe just doesn't have a job? And one of the strange things about Japan is if you do something like this, oftentimes your family will have to pay for you. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but if you come to Japan, don't have an irresponsible son or daughter because it can cost you lots of money. Alright, that's it for the main stories in Japan. Subscribe below if you haven't already, and maybe some other things. Also, I didn't want to do a whole story about this, but they are doing a Zelda anniversary concert this summer in Japan. It's going to be all orchestral, so if you're like me and you love classical music or you love video game music, check that out. You can go and see that. And one last thing, the snack of the month. So I found this recently. It's a new Fanta flavor. I guess they're doing watermelon with salt. I don't know if you can read this, but this says salt is inside. So I don't know. I've heard other people putting salt on watermelon, but that sounds kind of disgusting. But I don't know. Let's try it. Not bad. It's not too bad, but the kind of salt smell, it kind of tastes like you're drinking sweat, so I don't know. I guess you take the good with the bad, though. Overall, it's not bad. As I said before, subscribe, and until next time, see you. If you enjoyed that video, subscribe. Also, feel free to comment down below, and check out some of my other videos here. Or is it here?